All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Jodi there.
And we are excited to react to some more Dara O'Briain. Brian? I said it correctly. No, I didn't. And he's talking about what?
Learning how to drive in the UK.
Ooh. Well, it took me 16 years to learn how to drive in the U.S. It took me just a few hours in the UK, so take that.
16 years to drive in the U.S.?
You can't drive till you're 16?
No.
Actually, I didn't get my license. No, I got my license. Getting my license until I was 17 years.
Well, I was going to say, no, because you weren't practicing to drive then. Learning how to drive.
I had to wait 16 years before I could. And technically, I was a passenger observing, so it took me 17 years.
Well, then you were problematic. That you struggled to learn. I'm excited to watch this. I can only imagine, like, he's going to pull the typical stereotypes, you can only imagine. But I am intrigued because at least here in the United States and where we live on the West Coast, if you're in busy cities, it's very similar to London where there's just a lot of traffic. People are parked on the sides of the roads. It's chaotic. But what we don't have, even in our smaller towns, is the very narrow country lanes that England has.
Yes, very narrow. Meant for like horse and buggy from a long time ago.
And the fact
that... you guys don't know what I'm talking about. My bad.
But the fact that it's like one lane and your speeds are like 45 when you can't see around the turn and you're going both directions, you just have to pull over, or like you both go kind of into the dirt path and you're like, it's good, we're good. That to me is like the most terrifying thing ever. But yeah.
No, the most crazy thing was in London was when Ozja was driving, because you have cars parked. There's only room for one lane, but it's 2 lanes. So that's what you're talking about. You have 2 cars there. Someone's got to find an open sidewalk to get out of the way so the other person can go. That was stressful. That was crazy. I'm glad he was a whiz with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was super, super good. I also found the roundabouts slightly confusing because we were
I loved them. They were awesome.
I love roundabouts too, but for whatever reason, the left side threw me off. Like,
yeah, but you didn't drive that much.
I didn't drive at all.
So you didn't drive at all.
Yeah.
So it's different when you're actually, like, I'm sure when you're a passenger, you're just thinking, because it's already other side of the car, other side of the road, all that kind of stuff. But the roundabout saved me, honestly, on time and everything. They were great. I loved them. And people in England, they really know how to use them, obviously, because they use them all the time. So it was very efficient. All you had to do was understand, yield, your turn to go, not turn to go, wait, whatever. It was awesome. I loved them.
I like roundabouts too. We have them in a certain area where we live. That there's a lot more of them in a Summerlin area, but people here still don't quite know how to use them, which lane to be in when you're turning it off. But I just kept thinking, like, when we were going, the first turn off just came so much faster than I was expecting on the left side, and I don't know why, but I just really struggled when, like, you were like, wait, which turn off are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I think it was that one. No, wait, is this one? No, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
Yeah, it took, I'm not going to say it was super easy to go on the other side. I've never driven on the other side of the road before, but it didn't take as long as I thought it would be, and it wasn't as stressful as I was worrying it was going to be, even though I did get a ticket.
Yeah, speeding ticket.
But
we do speed here in Vegas. We don't have the cameras like you guys do. They've always threatened to bring them out, and supposedly California is getting them, but...
There are some places that do have the cameras. They're all on the traffic lights, so more for like running a red light.
Yes, not just a random. And here, like, there's cops all over the place, but in certain areas, they just speed with you. There's certain ones that will pull you over right away, for sure. But there are other ones that are like, come on, let's go. Let's move it.
If you like a reaction, please don't forget to
like this video, subscribe, and let's check it out.
Quite cool. You're very strict about stuff in this country. You've got laws for everything. There's a Road Traffic Act, 1988, includes a law which says you may not drive a car in the UK while operating a handheld microphone. An unbelievably specific law, which is clearly because of one sham which is driving around going, how are you? Hey, you're looking very well. But to say, love the hat, Mary, love the hat. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hello, officer. What? Well, there's no law against it. Oh, there is? Oh. And now there is a law against it because you're terribly prescriptive in this country. You think things are all legal or illegal. That's the way it works for you. And there's a line, bang, that's good, that's not good. Not the way we do things in Ireland. In Ireland, we have a greater appreciation of the greyness in the human condition between the white and the black, of the arbiter, of the vagueness, of the fuzziness of human behaviour. There are 3 states of legality in Irish law. There is all this stuff here, which comes under that's grand. Then it moves into, now, don't push it. And finally into, right, you're taking the piss. And that's where the police sweep in, right? So I drove for years, but finally had to do the test. You know, when you're older, it's a different experience. I mean, my friend with the ambulance thing, what age were you?
18.
You were 18, or whatever. By the way, as a teenager, did you find it a bit embarrassing being in the stupid-looking car?
I was taught by the Air Force.
You were taught by the Air Force? My Lord, you have a backstory we didn't even get close to asking about here. Why were you taught? Why did somebody leave you outside an Air Force base in a reed basket as a child? Did all the officers gather around and go, we shall raise him as our own? And then have a pact where they all went like that. Oh, we agree? All right, Air Force, go! That does make them sound like a gay crime-fighting team, some description. Air Force, go, go, yeah! Sorry, you were taught by the Air Force? Yeah. Was it actual cars, or was you taxied planes up and down, and then they'd, like, on runways and the lights would stop and you'd have to sit in your F-14 jet, and then find the bite spot, find the biting point in the jet, now indicate, where's the blind spot of the jet is everything over the wing over there, right? I'm presuming all this shit, it was just a car.
Land Rover.
A Land Rover? Really? And was there any other unnecessary levels of difficulty they wanted to include? Did you have to do it in the middle of the night under gunfire or something like that? You still have to do like a civilian driver's test.
Civilian driving test, yeah.
But did you go in like the Land Rover?
Yeah.
Was it like, you know, Ford Escort, Ford Escort, Ford Escort, Land Rover, Ford Escort, Ford Escort? So which car would be yours? Man dressed head to toe in camouflage gear and wings? Take a wild guess. Okay, can you read out the registration number? Yes, it's KILLU. Go. Where are we at? The best thing about learning to drive at 34 is, did you ever stall the Land Rover?
Yes.
Yes, you did. I presume nobody behind you went, bah. Nobody does that to a Land Rover here with RAF written across it. I said, Jesus, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Like, the door opens and they all go, go, fum, and then jump onto it. When you learn to drive at 17, yes, it is embarrassing. When you stall the car the first time, like whatever, watch out for this, my young friend. It's mortifyingly embarrassing, right? Because you do think at 17, because, you know, you haven't been around the block, you think, Jesus, I am holding up the entire world at this stage. All traffic has halted because of me, and there's a helicopter floating above my head, radioing the news into radio stations going, well, it's all going very well, but one idiot has stalled the car. And there are pregnant women having children behind him who can't get to hospitals, and it's a nightmare, right? At 17, you stall a car, somebody goes beep behind you, you panic, and you start pressing every button in the car, and turning things and moving things and stamping things, and the windscreen wipers are wildly going left and right, and the radio's coming on and off, and it's a nightmare. Not when you're 34. Second lesson, I stalled the car at the lights, didn't quite get the biting point, chug-a-chug, car stopped. A guy in a BMW behind me, like a half a second later, just goes, "Barr!" really, really loudly and really rudely.
So he put his
right?
hand out
By
the window.
17, I might have fallen apart. At 34, you have a bedrock of confidence that's built up over the years. I didn't panic. I calmly put on the handbrake, got out of the car, walked back to the man in the BMW and went, is there a problem here, champ, is there? And your man went, I was just thinking that you hadn't quite left from the lights. You're a lot bigger than I was expecting you to be at this time. Yeah, I am a lot bigger. And you're right, I haven't quite left from the lights with the kind of a greyhound out of a trap kind of speed that you were hoping for here. But let's have a look at the entire situation here. Are there any clues, perhaps, in what we see in front of us here as to why I might not have been as fast as other drivers? Take, for example, the giant pyramid of L's on top of the car. What do you think the L might stand for in this situation? Does it mean, warning, driver is lackadaisical? And maybe mean to be reminded of the urgency of your trip? Or does it mean, hey, the guy in this car is louche? I'm likely to be sitting there going, I do not like this green. Let us wait for another green. So satisfying to be able to do that. And then you think of all the other things that at 34, you'd love to go back. Any of those ridiculous run-ins you had as a 17-year-old, whether with your first boss or with people in your class, anytime when you came out lesser and now you realize, geez, I didn't have to put up with that. Or women, with the best will in the world, you're wonderful creatures. But Jesus, you scared the shit out of me at 17. I'd be in bed with a woman at 17 and if things would go wrong, I would panic. And I start pressing everything and moving things and shifting things around and the head's going wildly left and right. Not anymore. Now I just calmly pull out. I walk around. I go, is there a problem here, chap? Is that? Yeah, I was just thinking, you're a lot smaller than I was expecting you to be.
Oh, man.
Hi, this is Dara O'Briain.
That did not go how I expected it to go at all.
Not at all. I mean, he did talk about learning how to drive.
But
I didn't realize he learned at an older age. I was just going to say I've met several people who didn't learn how to drive till their 20s. Maybe not as late as 34, though. I think I know people have never had a license, like in their 40s, but I just think, like, how is that possible? Like, how have you not, like, you've gotten a ride everywhere or you've taken the bus.
Well, so I actually have a coworker who moved here from New York City, and she didn't get her license until she moved here.
Well, that's New York. I'm talking about people that live here.
But if they've lived here their entire life, yeah. So where we live, public transportation is crap. Like, it's so bad. Our sweet son had a couple of years ago applied for a job that's 20 minutes driving distance away. And what did he say? It was like a 2-hour bus ride to get to work. And he's like, it's okay, Mom. He's
Not
like,
exaggerating.
I already planned it out. It'll be a 2-hour bus ride there and a 2-hour bus ride back. And I'm like,
4-hour commute for your job?
No, like, are you kidding me?
Making minimum wage?
Seriously, like, he was so sweet. But that's our public transportation. It's really bad. But yeah, so around here, unfortunately, you do have to drive. Nothing is close. So it's not like you can just bike or walk either. Even our kids' school is a 15-minute drive. Where I work, it's over 30 minutes, depending like on the way there, because of traffic on the way back. It's like a 45-minute drive. So definitely not pick up your bike and go. But yeah, there are cities where people don't get their license because you don't need to, because public transportation is good, or everything could be right there.
I guess. I'm the kind of person that, like, these rite of passage moments, these different levels that you reach by age and whatnot, I would just, I was in New York. I want to get my license. I want to have a license. So if I ever leave this place, I can drive around somewhere.
I would be too terrified, I think, to try to learn how to drive in New York City. I'd be like, can we go outside of the town to learn how to drive?
You learn how, it's just like he was talking about stalling the car. Like that's a manual car. I don't know if you can even buy manual cars anymore. You have to get them like custom made, or you have to, I don't know, really search around for a used car.
At least in the United States,
I don't think any of the new ones have manual. But I learned the automatic. I think that would be, it's not impossible to learn how to drive a manual. I only tried a few times. I stalled the car a few times. My brother kicked me out and said, no, you're not going to ruin my car. You're not taking this car anymore. And so I think that would be a lot of pressure too, because you got to figure out, like he said, like you got to figure out that nice sweet spot. I'm sure I would have figured it out within a few days. Who knows?
You would have, because I did dirt bike riding. I had the whole kickstart, you have your clutch, you switch your gears and all that, and it's easy. And it's easy to hear the engine, like to know when you need to switch gears. But in a car, it would be even easier because you can actually watch it go up and be like, oh, time to switch gears now. I can even hear, like sometimes I'm like, why is my car not switching gears yet? And then all of a sudden it does it. And I'm like, okay. But it's just something you get an ear for. I don't know what it would be like to drive a manual car now, but I know that as a teenager.
It's silly how much harder it is than you think about. Like, you just balance it out. Like, you just got to be really, you can find that, like I said, that sweet spot.
You just find it, yeah, and you get used to it.
If you like our reaction.
Sorry, I cut you off again.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Goodbye.